Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning to everybody here. I know it's early, but today I woke up very early, so I'm like feeling like streaming. Like I want to talk to you guys. So today I am going to be doing something very special. What we just saw here is the trailer for Witch Hunter, which is our new comic. Okay, we are. The mailing list is just launch. I don't know if you say launch for a mailing list, but whatever, just launch. So if this is the first time you're seeing this and you're interested in this new comic that we're doing, please subscribe. The link is in the description. It's a very, very cool story about a witch hunter who fights like monsters, werewolves, of course, witches. He's the best in his job, and there's a very, very cool adventure here going on, written by my husband John. Interior art by Javier Gutierrez from Undead Border, Escape or Die, and the colors by me. Anyway, so I have the best, wonderful guests, early birds of this day. They don't sleep in. They are hardworking men, okay? So let me say hello first to Poland. What's up, sir? Good morning.
Good morning. Right way to start the day here.
What?
I said it's the right way to start the day.
Oh, yeah. Heck yes. Heck yes. I don't know what time is where you are, but here it's 8:51, which is awfully early for me.
We're approaching 11 o'clock here.
Damn. Like, you're almost in lunchtime, guys. Okay.
Almost.
So, I also have two a little bit weird people, but I still love them. Sim and Red. What's up, guys?
Good morning. I was going to go for the early bird joke, but hi.
I take offense. What do you mean a little bit?
Well, I said you're all very hardworking men. You should be happy about that, right? Like, let's do some like kind of like recognition day. Like, yeah, we wake up early. Well, it's 11 though. It's not that early, right?
I didn't just wake up, so in fairness.
Depends on what time you go to bed.
What time did you wake up? It's a competition now.
Okay. I went to bed at 6 and I woke up at 10:30.
What about you,
5:30,
Paul?
10:30, yeah.
I fell asleep at 2 and I woke up at 8.
What about Red?
Well, I went to bed around 1. I didn't actually fall asleep till about 4, and I got up right around 8.
Damn. Okay. I win because I went to bed at 2 and I woke up at 4:30. Woohoo! So cool to be pregnant and not be able to sleep properly. Like, I woke up at 4 a.m. and like don't know what the hell to do. Like, already cleaned the house, I cooked, I even did a face mask, and the most important thing I was doing like you know that I pronounce like crap. Okay, you already know that. Try to understand. Sorry, not sorry. But okay, so here in White Cat Comics, we're working very hard in Witch Hunter, which is our next project, and I am working in the cover, which I am going to finish here live with all of you guys. Let me just say hello to the chat. We have Frog G. He's saying can't stay, but this comic looks very promising. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. I already answered him here. And we have What About? How do you pronounce this?
Ahoy.
Ahoy? What's that?
It's like saying hail.
Oh, okay. I hope for you too. Help Poland, help to Gaze and Sim. And Carla, what about Carla? Nobody says ahoy to me.
I think there's 3 ahoys were for you. And this was just follow up for the rest of us.
I hope. What about? I hope.
All 3 ahoys. He must consider you a pirate. It's pirate lingo.
I've seen that word in the cookies.
Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Can you please explain to me why?
Chips Ahoy, meaning you go ahoy when you go attack, like you're going to do something, you're going to pillage something. So Chips Ahoy, meaning filled with chips, with chocolate chips.
Okay,
Chips Ahoy.
because like in my country they're called pepitos. So
Pipito e corazón. Pipito.
nothing to do with Chips Ahoy. Okay, that's cool. That's a fun name. Oh wow! Like I was like spacing out, and then boom, all these comments. Yes, we have Apollo Patriot here. Hello, mortals. Hello. And I love my Blue Twilight women. I also love my Hera from Rebels. Very nice to know, my friend. Thank you. I couldn't have started my day without knowing that. Thank you. Edwin, help peeps. What's up, Edwin? Red Gaze, did Beanier do a handstand?
Yes, but he only does them for me. I'm sorry, Apollo.
Well,
Oh.
private handstand.
Is that a euphemism? A handstand?
You'll come to understand Apollo Patriot has a lot of colorful things to say.
Poland, I am as confused as you. Don't worry. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just wondering what type of shenanigans Gaze is getting up to with Vinny.
I think
Hey,
so.
listen, that's not a big
Just let
business.
it go and go with it. Okay, go with the flow.
Yeah. I'm used to it. We never say no. You know, like when the actors are learning to improvise, you never, like, the number one rule is to never say no to the other actors, right? Because when an actor like presents something, for example, oh, there's a dog there, you cannot go like, oh no, there's not a dog. No, you have to follow, right? So this is pretty much something like that. What
See-
about this? The Ahoys were for you, Carla. Oof. Now I can live. Thank you. What about? What, bro? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Nothing. I was gonna read the exact same thing. I was gonna say you just answered. Just confirmed.
Okay. All right. So let's just get to work, okay? Because this is the office. Like, I used to do this show, and I started, like, I remember, like, I was drawing the cover for the visual companion of Sandstorm in one of the chapters of The Office. And then, like, everything went to the void, and we just started, like, hanging out and saying all kinds of crap and not working anymore. Like, what the hell? No, we're gonna work again, okay?
See, that's what happens once you take your mind off Sunsworn. Everything goes to hell.
Dude, I always work when I'm on stream.
Good for you, brother.
Tim's always doing something.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a creator first, YouTube third. Get it?
I'm just going to call for a hand check.
Okay, because I'm parent second. That was the joke.
The second is that you are a stripper.
No, a parent.
Oh, sorry.
I have 4 kids.
Carla, I
I
was on
do,
the
I
same.
do have to make time for them, even though I know I work my ass off and I do stream a lot. So I do have to have specific time for them.
I was on the same page with Carla. I thought you were going to say stripper.
No.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Right? Anyway, Apollo is asking me if I'm gonna teach dark magic.
There's no stripping. I'm always naked. What the fuck?
Oh my god, Apollo, how long has it been since that episode? Because, okay, let me just explain to everybody the context of this. Because Apollo is such a great, he's awesome. He watches everything we do, so he's like, so like, all the internal jokes, everything, he gets it like this. This we used to do, remember, Red, when we used to do in your channel and with John and with Lola and Beanie, we used to make this show, the Paranormal Mondays. And
I miss that show.
Yeah, we used to talk about all paranormal stuff, ghosts and weird stuff. And yeah, I had an experience like with a witch, but I wasn't the witch, I was the victim.
Oh,
So since that moment, Apollo is asking me if I'm gonna teach dark magic. Oh no, I think it was because of John's trick
Yes,
of
it was the dog trick.
right. Okay, Poland, did you know that when you do this in front of a dog who's trying to take a crap, they can't anymore?
I
No,
can't say that.
I'm serious. It works.
Obviously, if you're standing in front of somebody, you don't need to do shit. He won't be able to take a shit.
But that doesn't work with people. It works with dogs. Only with dogs.
I don't know. I think I'd be pretty bashful if someone were standing in front of me and I was trying to use the toilet. I don't know.
Right?
I'm gonna try it with my husband.
Dude, I have trouble going in public bathroom because there's people around me. Imagine if somebody was just standing in front of you. Hi, guy. I'm looking at you. Shit. I'm like, well, it's not happening.
Yeah, I'll go I'll whip it out anywhere and take a piss. But taking a dump is it's a personal experience.
Right? I don't know. Maybe
Great.
it's all those horror movies, that we've seen that people die on the toilet, like in public toilets. Something can come up from the top, from the side, from the bottom.
Is it just me that when I go to a bathroom, like, I don't know, in a gas station or something, I get so scared, like anxiety, like I have to get out of here like fast?
No, you're not the only one.
Like,
Depends on
because
how.
I think of the horror movies because like everything is quiet and like with the low lights and I don't know.
Depends on how sketchy the bathroom is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That,
A lot of them are more well lit these days.
Me, let's just say, if I can wait till I get home, I usually wait till I get home.
Yes, absolutely.
Like if I'm on the road trip, sketchy
Number
gas
one.
station.
Yeah, number one, no problem. Number two, whoa, if I can wait.
Yeah, because you're so vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So
Carl,
vulnerable.
I'm really glad you're steering the show back toward the professional work.
right?
Format.
It's gonna be with work, okay?
No, we're gonna have to do one of those poopy scene in one of our comics.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
element of work here,
Yeah, sometimes you have to travel for work, and while you're traveling, you might have to use that public bathroom.
Guys,
Okay.
just stop at truck stops. You'll be fine. They're very clean.
So,
Anyway, this is what I have done so far for the cover, and there's still a lot of work to do. So I'm just gonna keep working on this. If I can find the pen. Oh, here it is. I always lose the pen. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep working on this while we talk literal shit.
Carl, is that like some type of witch killing rifle he's got or harpoon gun?
Harpoon, yes, it's a medieval harpoon.
That's amazing.
Why is the Red Riding Hood in there?
It's not a red rider. It's well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Like, I don't know what's the line of spoiler and of information. So,
well, that's up to you.
well, actually, no. It's like my husband wrote this, so I don't know how much to tell people, but what I can do is draw in front of people. And there's so many details that I still have to do. So I'm just gonna get to work. And as you can see, like this is how polished and wonderful my pencils are. These are my pencils. Okay, guys, like this is just how I work, okay? I promise I was going to show you like on the process behind what I do, and this is the truth. Some artists have like this super well done like pencils, like so detailed. Look at this. But I know what I meant, okay? I know what I meant.
I remember when I saw EVS's pencils for the first time, I was like, how in the world did you get from that to your inks? But
Right. But like only you know what you have in mind when you are penciling that. So it's a personal experience, just like taking a crap in some place else than your house, I would say. So yeah. I took like my good couple hours working in this braid here. I don't know why I punish myself doing that. But anyway. So what's new, guys? I want to know about Poland. What's with your life? Tell us about you.
in reference to Comicsgate or just generally?
Whatever you want to share, my friend. We're here
Okay.
open.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've been on camera on your show too. So that's something.
Oh, I think so. Yes.
Yep. At least live. And now everyone has the privilege.
Damn. It's a very special show. Yeah. Hell
It
yeah.
is. It is. So I do, for anyone that doesn't know in the chat, I regularly appear on Michael Bancroft's show every night at 11 Eastern Time Standard.
Mhm.
And we typically highlight amazing artists like Sim and Carla here
Woohoo.
and creators like Gaze. So that's typically what we do. And We also do topic shows. So if you want to talk about where are her organs, we had one of those the other night, talking about how women are portrayed in comics and what do actually women prefer as their portrayals in comics. So I'm sure no one here would be surprised, but they prefer the more Tomb Raider idealized female forms rather than the rotund, manly G.I. Joe ladies, right?
Get out of here.
I know. Amazing.
Black
Shocking revelation.
Lara Croft is just so beautiful. I don't know. Sometimes I just have such a big admiration. Like she's so beautiful. Like, okay, is this like still a heterosexual way of appreciating her, or what? I don't know. She's just too perfect.
It's like when I see The Rock. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a healthy admiration.
Right.
Doesn't that happen to you guys? Like you're like, okay, I'm still straight after thinking this.
Well, when I see The Rock, I'm not really thinking about bending him over. I'm just like, wow, that dude's got it going on. I need that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have that problem. I'm pretty confident in my sexuality.
Hail Johnny Rando. He's the one that makes the Toro chats.
And it's something you learn early as an artist. You look at a guy and like, that looks good.
But I'm not saying that happens to like with every character. Like it's that character, that one in particular.
Carla, do you mean this one?
Yes. Holy shit. See? Isn't that perfection? Huh?
It's pretty close.
Like I remember
the magazine isn't quite wide enough.
What's that?
I said it's close, but the magazine isn't quite wide enough.
I remember when I started talking to Poland, he was sharing with me all these images about her, and I was like, I'm so happy. Let's just keep talking so you can keep sending me images.
Well, what's funny, I've only been reading comic books for 2 years, and I'm new to it, right? And one of the first comic books I picked up was actually Silencer because Zach had recommended it on his Move the Needle campaign. I had been listening to him in EVS, social commentary reasons, because everything else was kind of just disinteresting to me. Movies, shows, like, oh man, everything's going so woke. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? I used to think comic books were very childish growing up, but I'm going to give them a shot because I trust these guys. Went and picked up Silencer, and I got Catwoman by Joelle Jones, and I just was hooked from there. And then a few months later, a friend of mine got me this volume, not the one I just showed, but another one of these old Tomb Raider comics. He's like, hey, didn't you like these games growing up? There's some comic books they did back in the day that you may enjoy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so then I said, okay, this is the volume 2. That means there's a volume 1, which is what I just showed. It turns out there's 4 in total from Top Count Image back in the day. And then I got those, and I got the floppies, and then I just became a little bit of a comic book collector because I was like, I found a character that I liked, and I got hooked right there. And now, now I have all the Comicsgate stuff, or a lot of it, Witchblade, a few things.
So you became a collector after Comicsgate?
Yep.
Like you never been a collector before?
Not even a reader, not even a casual observer. I always thought when you walked into a comic book shop, you would have to shower after you left. You would immediately start perspiring. People would look at you funny. I viewed it as a dingy, silly place. It turns out it wasn't that bad. So.
But it's so wow. I
Ends
never.
up you feel like home now.
Well, unfortunately, my shop went out of business locally, but.
Well, I think a lot of them did. But wow, that's very shocking for me. Like normally people think that okay, this is for people that just wanna it's like there's a lot of nostalgia factor going on. Like some people wanna remember when they used to collect, but it's actually like motivating people to get into comics. So wow, that's really cool. Really, really cool. So how long ago, more or less, did you start?
It's it's been about 2 years, a little bit more. It was the summer before last when I picked up my first book. I still have the picture because I figured I would send it to Zach for his Move the Needle stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I documented that, and so I have a date, and so it was 2 years. It was the June before this one, so I guess that was 2018,
That's
June
so
2018.
wow.
But yeah, it's been awesome, and I spend so much time between working on my spreadsheets and everything for my job, and then keeping in touch with wonderful people like Sim, Carla, and Gaze on the computer, and being on my phone during the day. I said, I could probably use some time away from a screen as well. That was another huge perk of getting into them. When you don't feel like picking up a really dense like nonfiction read or a big fiction novel, why not just pick up a little floppy and then have some good lo-fi entertainment to relax to? So it was good all around. And with all the back issue stuff, the old Tomb Raider stuff, Witchblade, and all these 90s comics, you're able to find stuff that's, from a different era when I grew up. And it's funny, even though I didn't read them growing up, I recognize the attitude from the 90s and the early 2000s. And that stuff I do miss. Because back then, everything was so whimsical. Everyone was cool with each other. And nowadays, it feels like you're always walking on eggshells. So it's good to see some stuff that's a little irreverent and didn't care.
It does. It does. Wow, that's such a cool story. I like it. I never would have imagined that. Like, okay, like my case, for example, like I always like anime and manga, but never like comics. So I'm kind of new to comics too. I'm learning a lot. Um, what would you say is your favorite part of becoming a comic reader?
Well, one of my most favorite things about it, I guess I have a pretty unique perspective, is all the great people I've met. Since I got involved, you guys all included, of course. And as Johnny so graciously pointed out, I've been on Michael's show since he pretty much started it. And Michael Bancroft, for everyone who's listening, Michael is another terrific person that I've become personal friends with. So that's been one of my favorite things. And from just the medium side itself, referring to the comic medium, one of my favorite things about it is that you have a melding of two different art forms in a way that's it's not given credit for a lot of times. Like from my initial perspective, I used to assume comic books were silly and childish, low effort, kind of like throwaway things.
Right.
When you actually get into some of them, you see how much craft goes into it, from both a writing and an art perspective. And those melding of two things like that doesn't happen very often in other forms of entertainment. So that's one of the things I've come to appreciate most and enjoy most. I mean, everything from how they decide to format the paneling to convey a certain feeling to, what they decide to show, what they don't decide to show, knowing how to get effective and punchy dialogue in there without having like paragraphs of information, on the page. These are the type of things that comic book writing and drawing is like if you look at it on the face, it's actually really graceful. You have to be really graceful to pull it off because you've only got so many pages to work with.
Right. Yeah. Like I completely agree with you. And there was something I wanted to say and I just got distracted.
I'm sorry.
But
feel free to interject.
No, to respond you.
Right.
And I completely forgot. I'm in that stage of pregnancy when I forget, but then I remember. I promise. Then I remember. What was
Baby
it?
stealing your thoughts.
Yes. No, seriously, it's an actual thing that happens in the pregnancy. Like, oh my God, we were doing the fulfillment for Green Reaper all these days, and imagine like having baby brain plus having to do fulfillment. That's the worst combination in the world.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, John had to like triple check everything. But anyway, you said a lot of very interesting things. what was like this is the thing, like I was thinking and responding you while you were talking, and now I don't remember anything that I was thinking. But you say that it's an art form that has like several art forms in it, right?
Yeah, it's bringing a lot of things together here.
Yeah, I would say that I also thought at first that it was something like very childish. I think there's a lot of like prejudice, like people judge it and they don't actually know what it's about. I also thought it was like, okay, like I thought like, okay, people grow up, like it's not, oh, Superman's gonna save the world. Okay, yeah, it's not fun. Like, come on, but it's not like that. Like John actually explained to me um like all the meaning behind the stuff, and I don't know, the cool stories that they have. Like, he told me about like his favorite stories, and I thought, oh well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's not what I thought whatsoever, right? Um. So yeah, I think it's great. Like with Comicsgate, I think that some people is like giving it a chance, and it's also now I remember. Now I remember, it's also a matter of like what kind of comic you see, right? Because maybe you don't find something that it's like your cup of tea, to call it
Yeah,
a.
but that's where we have an advantage. We've read European comics or mangas. The problem is the Western world, like Canada, the States, and stuff like that. For most, we've all been conditioned for animation and comics to be for kids. It's a kid medium. If you're a grown up, you're gonna read a novel or go watch a serious movie. It's the way that we are. If you go to Japan and Europe or anything like that, it's not. Comics are treated like it's, dude, around. It's known as the ninth art. It's classified as an art, but it's treated as a childish thing here. It's kind of stupid. In
Yeah.
Europe, it's respected as if dude, there's a museum about comics.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's the stigma we need to break, and I think I keep saying, like, one of the biggest example of it is the fact that artists used to go to cons. You would show that witch hunter thing, and somebody would go, do you have the same thing but with Batman? Do you have a Wonder Woman piece? Now people are interested in stuff that are not just for kids, like, or superheroes, which is, you know, a bit. It's a big thing, because right now it's like we're finally breaking that stigma and getting back into that novel more of a area where people now look at a comic book more like a book.
Well, I would say that even some of the ones that maybe, I've gone back and read that were meant for, you know, uh, maybe a younger demographic, there's still a lot of really valuable things that you can pull out of there as an adult through adult eyes too. And, I kind of look at it the same way as you would like a mythological tale like Beowulf. Like Beowulf was something that can appeal to everyone, and someone can take away something from it in terms of, oh, these are good values or these are good morals, etc. So I remember Zach talking about, the first Spider-Man comic, for instance, and talking about responsibility and going through, these trials and tribulations. And I think that's something a kid obviously needs to hear or should hear at some point. And it's also something that maybe you need a reminder of as an adult. So even the ones that are like more like lower level and maybe not as quote mature, like Blood Hunt, even the ones that are a little bit more PG, you can still take a lot of good stuff away from. Like I love, for instance, I read Superman Rebirth. That was also one of the first books I picked up from a friend, and it was all about family and the American way and
Right.
this father-son relationship. And it was very wholesome, and I loved it. I ate up that book. It was great.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's also like why it's so upsetting to see all the woke uh, thing they're doing now with the comics, right? Because something that used to be in a way like influencing us, like us growing up and stuff, like now it teaches this mob mentality, right? Like this weird stuff, so political, so So against what's correct, right? I think I don't know.
No, I think you're right, Carla.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
less universal appeal, like I was just talking about, and it's more like very segmented, targeted appeal to like 2% of the population.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But right now, like I would say that the situation now, do you think that that stigma is now being like, um, is being like, what's the word for that? Like, there's not anymore.
Right. Well, I can tell you that my friends who I've had, most of my friends I've had since I was very young. So we've been friends for 15, 16, 17 years in some cases, 12 years. The ones I have two that are into comic books, and they're very into comic books, and they're two of the people that eventually were so excited when I started collecting finally. Everyone else, I've had a very hard time convincing that this is something that they should invest time in or look into. And I've tried. They're like, "Oh, you're obsessed with Tomb Raider. That's why you got your Tomb Raider books." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, that's not all I have. It is most of my collection, but that's not all I have."
Right.
So the yeah, it's still a little bit challenging to overcome with people who have never gotten into it in any way. At least with my personal friend group, and I consider them to be fairly open-minded, worldly people. And it's still difficult. Now, there are a few of them that read manga, but in terms of the more Western style, it seems a hard sell sometimes, even when you gift it to them.
So you haven't been able like to, in a way, bring friends to Comics Gate or to the comics, the indie comics.
Yeah, it's been tough. Like I said, I've even gifted books to people, and I don't think they've read them. So it's been tough. I'm like, no, you really need to give this a chance, seriously. And it's tough, but I am convinced that if they read something like the trade paperback for Silencer, for instance, that I gave one of my friends, as soon as you read that, I think you'll understand where I'm coming from, because that book's Dan Abnett, John Romita Jr. It's a good team. It's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say that it's sad that we used to have Hiri comics, which was a good example of not having stories not for kids. We had Bernie Wrightson, all the some of the greatest from heavy metal, and they were doing that horror comic called Hiri. And if you go check back into it, dude, you have some of the best art in those stuff, and that died out too. That was a market that died out. It's I don't know. It's like it's weird. Like they used to be a market like a bit more mature, and it kind of died out for a while. Kind of got snuff under the pillow, you would say. Like that's what I'm trying. It's too weird. Like it was a big sell. There's a lot of demand for it, but the market was not there anymore. That was like in the late '80s, where it all became superheroes. But before that, we had like a whole bunch of different comics. But we do have the comic code to blame for that. They kind of killed all horror comics.
I'm curious, like, Poland, why do you think that your manga reading friends don't want to get into Western comics?
I think I'm gonna have to walk lightly here. I think with them, it's more of a fascination with Japanese culture and or entertainment mediums, art forms, because they're also big into the anime stuff and whatever else is out there. I don't know if they've gone as far as to like watch live action films, but not that I know of. But it seems to be that's just always been their wheelhouse since we were very young. It's like they're the guys who watch anime and read manga, and I wasn't. So
You know, I'd bring up if you go check Literature Devil, I think his name is. He made a really good video
That's his
about
name.
it, and it was Eastern versus Western writing.
I watched that one a while back. Yeah.
It's not the same approach on writing a story. So if somebody get used to that certain way, and then you go to another way of storytelling, it's like going like if somebody's used to their Hero's Quest, all the stories he ever read was Hero's Quest, and then you give him a Quentin Tarantino type of script, you'll be like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to me. Why is this happening? Why is this? It's like it's the same stigma that we're living through right now. It's like in movies when I was in university, right? They're like, a person cannot enter a scene from the right. I'm like, yeah, it surprises people. Shut up. Like there's a whole bunch of freaking like set of like barometers that they limit themselves. While the manga, they just go nuts. And even if even if the plot and the story is similar for like 10 different mangas, you'll get a different experience from them. Even if it's the same type of story.
If I remember that video correctly, there's also conventions that are implemented in manga all the time.
Yep.
And one of the things
Otaku-con.
Literature Devil touched on was the team aspect. I think the team building around the main character. It seemed like the sidekicks and stuff. That's a big part. So if you're someone that really likes old school RPGs, you probably enjoy that. Right?
It's what I tried to integrate in Nat the Merc. That's why you have Nat the Merc and you have his friends around him. It's not a team, but he has a crew.
But like, so I'm still thinking about your friends, Poland. I'm upset that they don't come to Comicsgate.
Yeah.
So
don't
what?
call them slut shame you, by the way.
You know, Carla, what we could do?
What?
You know what we could do? We could bring them onto a show, one by one,
Harass them.
and put them on trial. Not trial, but bring them in with our warm comic embrace. Yeah.
Right. Like, but wait. Like, I'm curious. Like, I'm the least person to talk because I'm a manga artist, right? But like, is manga the only thing they're into? Like, they're not into like movies, or it's just manga? What the entertainment they like?
Oh, like I said, some of them are big into the various anime shows, and they have subscriptions to those services. I don't know if Crunchyroll is still big, but some of that stuff. There's a lot of. I don't tend to watch a lot of animation myself nowadays. I watched stuff like the Clone Wars. I really appreciate that. So if there's something really good, and I actually revisited the X-Men animated series recently because it was on Disney Plus, and that was surprisingly held up in some ways that I didn't think it would. Considering last time I watched that was probably 5 or 6. So, I watch some animation from time to time, but I think with them, it's mostly their entertainment that they watch is mostly anime shows, and and if they're going to go read, I guess the things that are similar to the things that they like, I guess manga just makes sense for them. For me, I'm a big film person, right? I really like movies and talking about movies, and I actually had a conversation recently with someone about how I prefer movies to shows because shows are all the rage right now.
Same thing with the anime. You're talking about anime, right? Precisely.
Well, not anime. Even no, I mean I'm talking about stuff even like for me.
Yeah,
like
me too.
The
I'm the
Boys.
same. Yeah.
Or Stranger Things, like all these big shows, right? I prefer films because I think much like comic books, you have to have a certain to make a film in that constrained amount of time. Much like I said when you're writing a comic book or drawing a comic book, you have to have a certain elegance and grace to what you're doing to get everything in there for it to make sense and to be compelling, as opposed to a show which can be bloated. You get an hour per episode. You can delve into all these rabbit holes. When you're making a movie, you have to find a way to do things efficiently, but yet still make it really compelling and engrossing for people. So, for me, I'm a big film person, and I think that's why comic books are really speak to me, at least Western ones, because when I'm reading like through one of these Tomb Raider comics, each page is kind of like a scene from a film that I would really enjoy, like an action set piece or something.
You feel you're watching a movie when you read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the dialogue's really punchy, and you're just kind of like filling in the gaps with your imagination, of course, like what it would sound like, etc. And so that's an aspect from a flow perspective that I really enjoy.
I think that's one of the things that's been forgotten in comics. It's that it's supposed to be visual storytelling is supposed to be able to tell a story without even dialogues, and when you're done reading that book, you're supposed to have in your mind, it's supposed to be like you've seen a movie. Otherwise, you haven't done your job properly. That's the end result. It's like when you're reading a good novel, at the end it's like you've seen the movie in your head. If it's well written. When I was reading those Lord of the Ring, dude, he describes it so well that you have the scene in your head as if you're watching a movie. So a comic book should be exactly the same. That's why it's important. Like a lot of people forget about it. It's laying out a page. It's the pacing. It's not just about what you put in those panels. It's how you place those panels, how you shape those panels, how you lay out the entire page. Each panel needs to lead to the next one. You have to have your hit points, your money shots. So that's why I keep saying, like, putting a comic book together, it's way more like putting a movie together. It's just way less expensive because you can just produce it yourself instead of special effects, renting a place, paying actors, dealing with the actors because they're moody divas.
Well, it depends. Like, you're talking from an artist point of view. Maybe if you're producing a comic and you're not the artist, you have to deal with very shitty artists.
That's what I mean. It's like you do need to do that, but the thing is, you do not. It's not the same. You're not paying your artist like $5 million for him to freaking throw you a diva fit. He can ruin your movie because he said no, and then you have 20 of those. I've been on movie sets. Trust me. Like I was like, oh, I want to do movies. And you get into a movie set, and you start talking. You start seeing how the director has to do with it. Then you see the gopher. You see this. You see that. And you're like, holy shit! I'm way better at sitting down at my freaking table, writing and drawing my book. And hopefully, I'll get somebody else to do this shit.
Let me just read the comments, which I have abandoned like very, very badly. I'm sorry, guys. I still love you. Let me get Carla. You're gonna teach dark magic? No, I was already there. Well, what about says gas station bathrooms smell wonderful. Johnny Rando says looks great so far. Thank you very much, my friend. Very nice. Thank you. Looks amazing. Says Rex. Thank you so much, my friends. If you like what you're seeing, just subscribe to Witch Hunter. We have the link in the description. What about says agreed? Good crops are a process. These are old comments, but I like to do this.
Yeah, we can get caught up.
Sorry, what?
I said we can get caught up with them.
Yeah, Poland has been a solid contributor to the Bancroft show since its inception. There you go. Yeah, of course.
You have too, Johnny. You've been great for us.
We have very, very fine people here in this channel. What do you think, guys? What do you think, huh? Chaotic Neutral. Hell, guys, what's up, my friend? Good morning.
What's up?
Good morning, good morning. What about? I love playing Tomb Raider to play around in her mansion.
Yep. That was fun. The training
That's
room.
the dream, right? You want to own that someday.
You're like,
Yeah,
screw the game. Like,
Right.
dude, you got Tomb Raider? Go, yeah. How's the game? I don't know. I'm still stuck in a goddamn mansion. You had it for 2 weeks. I know.
Sim's
Like the
still
sweet
trying to
house.
lock the butler in the fridge again.
Yep.
We have Chris saying, great group of people in here. Chris, you're more than invited. You know that. What's
Yeah,
up?
but like I told you, he's just waking up and he's getting the show ready for the morning roast. That's not the morning roast anymore. It's more like a caffeine
The
crash
lunch
at this
roast.
point.
The lunch roast with Hunter mailing is so. Thank you so much, Chris. Big love to you. Mwah, kisses. Daniel, what's up? Hello, mangaka mom, and all good vibes. Good vibes to you all the way to your country, my friend. All the way there. Johnny says Europeans keep our American art forms alive. Jazz, cinema, and comics all thrive there.
Is there, what? Okay.
Yeah, like I agree with Johnny. I freaking love your style so much. Can't wait to work together. Also, Poland, who cares if Lara Croft is all you like? It's not up to anyone to decide what you like for you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Chaotic Neutral.
And yes, of course. Like I always ask,
That's my boy right there.
There you go. Yeah. Like everybody's into whatever you like. Johnny Cage. The answer is anime titties. I don't know
Probably.
what the question, but probably is yes.
Yeah.
Why is manga more popular?
Oh, all right. What up, family? What's up, Lucky Mamir? What's up, my friend? Very, very welcome here. What about Good Point? Good morning. Oh, 656. What's up, guys? Everything is good. See? Good point and good morning. Bring them kicking and screaming. Your friends, Poland. We need a comic. Who agrees with this? Because once I said on stream, like I wanna do like a hentai kind of manga, and everybody was like, ooh, like so weird.
Go check out Blade Devil. It's borderline hentai, I think. I
don't think so. Like I think it
no,
has
but borderline meaning there's boobies, there's there's titties, and there's tentacles.
Yeah, but that's not hentai. I mean, you can have like some like sexy kind of cover. You can have tentacles and
okay. So you're telling so hentai has to be pornographic, not just erotic.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Because if not, it's edgy.
Okay, got it. Okay, good. To me, hentai was more like anything that has nudity and very sexual, erotic and stuff like that. But if it's just the porn, like the penetrating and stuff like that, then okay, got it.
Hentai is very graphic.
Okay, got it.
There you go. You should know better, Steven.
Yeah, I thought it was more like a spectrum. You know what I mean? Like you have hentai, meaning you're into the mature type of thing. That's what I thought hentai was more like. Welcome to the adult part. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it has to be explicit.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Johnny says, I miss the Buddha machine gun sound effect, a classic. Is this about Lara Croft game?
Probably.
You know this game about Tomb Raider game. I bought it when I was a child, and that game never worked in my PlayStation. So I'm so frustrated.
No.
You know what's the first console I bought myself? Was the PlayStation. The two first game I bought, Tomb Raider and Resident Evil.
Hmm.
And
played
then
it
after
on
that, I
PC,
discovered Final Fantasy VII, which was amazing.
I was PC gaming before it was cool.
I'm sorry, PC gaming was always cool. It's the original way of gaming, bro.
You're a whole hipster, my friend.
I remember.
I just remember when I was playing it on PC, people were like, "What?"
Yeah. It's
You're
like,
playing
hey,
on PlayStation?
I like, look at this new game. It's fucking amazing on Nintendo. Look at Prince of Persia, Burger Time. A guy played that on PC 5
I mean, you
years
get
ago.
boxes like this. How could you say no? How could you say no? Look at this thing.
She looks so like weird there.
Yeah, this is old school.
The third one, that's the one where you could get her to climb weirdly, right? Go on the side of the thing, then do that little Y and stand up like she was doing the candle, and then
Yes.
yeah.
This is the first one I actually played was 3.
Oh yeah.
My sister. So it's funny. The way I got introduced to it was my dad took us to the store when we both did well on our report cards. He said, "All right, you both get to pick one game for the computer," because of course we shared one back then. And she picked up that game. I picked up like Star Wars Force Commander or something, some like crappy strategy Star Wars game. And I got burnt down that fast. And then she came to me. She's like, "Big brother, can you please help me with this game? It's so hard." And so that was the only game we ever played together growing up. And when I say together, it's kind of loose. She would sit next to me and watch and get to experience the game while I was desperately trying to navigate the clumsy controls on the keyboard with the platforming and all the puzzles and stuff. So it was our bonding time. One of the few times we bonded growing up, when we weren't pulling each other's hair out. And you can see I lost the hair battle. So, she got me good. But
you got sculpt. Got it.
yeah. Yeah. So that's how I got introduced. Blame my sister.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. I have so many memories about the PlayStation 1 I used to have with my brother. That was our Christmas gift. And basically the rest of our life we kept playing together.
Yeah, me it was I was living on my own, and it was my first job, and I'm buying myself my first game.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I remember that.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I wanna bring Poland's friends and interrogate them.
Yes.
Interrogate them.
We should.
Do they have waifus, Poland? If they do.
Waifus?
Yes.
Some of them have wives. I don't know if they're wives, and I don't know if a wife and a waifu can be. Are those mutually exclusive things? I mean, probably.
Can they exist on the same plane?
Your wife can be your waifu if she's a manga fan, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough.
She probably has her husbando. So, I used to have many. Of course, for everything, for every waifu, there's the male equivalent to that.
I just never heard the term. It's so funny.
It's very funny, very very funny. Like I don't know why Japanese can't pronounce if they don't put the vowel in the end, the o husbando, just take out the o and say husband.
Right.
It's so funny. But anyway, there's a lot of them, especially now I'm not very much into this, but it's something that is very popular now. Is the Korean kind of they call it bias. My bias is this guy, Jung Kim Jung Min, and they look all very feminine. So right. I never could get into that. Never. Come on, at least the anime guys were okay, yeah, I'm this very masculine, distant, super sexy guy. But this okay, I like the music, but I don't like the guy. It's not masculine enough, but whatever. There was a study that actually showed that women prefer more feminine men. I don't know.
That's not true. But,
no, I mean
there's tests and there's science that say everything according to them.
No, what I saw was that when it comes to faces, women always prefer this cute face. For example, when Justin Bieber was a little boy, he was this huge hit. He had a very feminine face. I mean, of course, he was a kid, but women.
You're talking about baby faces, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This would explain a lot of my relationship fortunes.
Uh-huh.
Just too manly.
Right?
Guys, I'm gonna have to leave. Chris and Shane are ready.
Oh, right.
You're banished. Get out.
Later.
Good luck. And all the best.
Bye, Sim. Godspeed.
Bye.
Talk to you later, Poland.
You will.
All right.
Go harass him in his Discord when he's trying to relax. That's what I do. He's just sitting there trying to watch an anime. I'm like, Sim, what's going on? It's very funny.
You guys watch anime in Discord?
Sim will be watching it typically, and I'll come in there. Him and Chris will be watching something. I'll be like, guys, what's up?
Right.
So,
I used to watch anime too, but I can't watch and draw at the same time. I have this problem, right? I don't even know how I'm managing to ink and talk at the same time. I think I'm developing some skills here because it's hard to do. I remember when I just started and I was I can talk. I have to concentrate.
Carla, we have someone special in the chat.
Oh,
One of my fellow panelists, Blue Samurai Zero.
Oh, where is he? Where is Blue Samurai? Oh, there he is. That's how I used to approach the Dark Horse Aliens and Predator miniseries in the early 90s. Like I was going to the movies. Good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, my friend? I'm going to send you the link in case you want to join. I don't know if you are busy or not, but at least the invitation is sent. All right. So where is it?
I was actually talking. It's funny that he should mention that. I was talking to Dan Marshall a few days ago. He's one of EVS's former mods of War Campaign fame. He's also kind of a therapist of sorts, which I only recently realized. So he's a very calming individual. I know a lot of people don't.
He's a good dude. He really is.
Yeah, Dan's great. I know people have certain immediate emotional reactions to like the label, but you know, some of these guys are really upstanding people, and Dan is definitely one of them. Top bloke, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look above like the tax and you have to look at the person.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to Dan a few days ago. We were catching up, and he was actually talking about what Blue was just talking about, how the alien books that he read growing up in the 90s, the Dark Horse ones, for him, those were very satisfying because he felt like that was his Alien 3 as opposed to what Alien 3 ended up being. And he's like, yes, they actually took into account Aliens. I always get that. Took into account what happened in Aliens and respected it in the comic books much more than Alien 3 and Resurrection did. And he was saying how I definitely need to look into those if I have any interest in the Alien films, which I do. So it's probably going to be my next pickup here soon. Maybe at least a trade or something, or a hardback.
Are you playing a lot of video games this quarantine?
Video games? Yeah, I have. Not in the last couple of weeks. I've been too busy in the evenings, but there were definitely some periods of time where all my friends and myself were locked up, and we did a fair amount of that at different points.
What kind of like John has a PS4? What kind of how do you say the consola? How do you say it?
We do everything on here on my computer and their computers. Oh, right. Yeah, so we at one point we were playing Rainbow Six Siege. We got into that like beginning of the lockdown. Then we were playing some Smite, which is what my shirt's from. It's a MOBA game. Yeah, it's a MOBA game with like mythological gods. So that's fun to dabble in occasionally. Most recently, they've been playing Ark, which is kind of like a survival builder type game where you can tame dinosaurs and stuff. And the last couple of weeks, I haven't played. Well, really, the last month and a half, I haven't really played anything. And they have been playing a game called Factorio.
Okay.
Seems to be a supply chain / tower defense type game.
That's a weird name, Factorio. Okay.
Yeah, Factorio. Yeah. So I've been trying to be a little productive in the evenings, and there's been a lot of stuff going on. So,
right,
like streaming with Michael and doing some writing and reading on the side. I've been trying to get some balance in there.
Right. So, did you have like previous experience like streaming or doing shows?
Nope. Hi, Tatsunami, by the way. No, I did not. The first time I went onto a show was Liam's Comics Core back in March, I think.
Okay.
And then I was on one of EVS's call-in shows maybe a week or two after that.
Mm-hmm.
That was like at the height of the drama stuff, unfortunately. And then I started seeing Michael in some of the chats and following him. I thought his book looked really compelling.
Oh yeah.
So I showed up for his first stream. He's like, hey, I could use some company. I said, okay, send me the link.
Right. And how was it? Like, was it comfortable for you? Because when I started, oh my God.
No, it definitely was not at first. I mean, even behind my avatar, my numerous avatars, it still felt a little stilted and awkward.
Right.
I would say it took me some time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a really like talkative person in real life, social person, but this just felt a little different.
Yes, it does. It does. It definitely does. It's not easy to start, but once you start, like it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Definitely.
You learn how to roll with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. This harpoon is hard. So I guess I'm gonna do the wolf here. This is like a very big wolf. And I'm gonna use a ruler here.
Chaotic neutral. Michael's a weirdo. I can't imagine it was comfortable.
Michael is so fun. Oh yeah. Let me just see the comments here. We have Xavier GTZ. This is Javier. He's the artist of the internal art of this book. So welcome, my friend. What's up? Very nice to see you here. He's saying cover is looking great. Cheers. Thank you so much, my friend. What about says? Thank you for your contribution, my friend. You see, some people will dig it. Some people will dig it. Sound effects, onomatopoeias in modern comics could be a great topic for discussion. Wish I was a writer, language expert for that, though. Oh yeah. Well, normally we speak Spanish, so the kind of sound effects that we see normally in our comics doesn't translate. You have to see like how it translates. And then like if you read manga, in manga you have like a whole different thing going on because the Japanese love sound effects. They even like when talking to people, they use these sound effects. They say like guru guru, and like they are like all cute and adorable.
I get all the cutesy sound effects.
Yeah, but they actually use them like in real life. So like everybody knows how the onomatopoeia sounds in Japan. Like it's something like you don't have to Google it. Tatsunami, what's up, my friend? Welcome. Albino Thunderbuns. Poland keeps things low key to give Mr. Bancroft a chance to shine.
Thanks.
He's so
Thanks,
nice.
Joe.
This is a sweetheart. See, Albino? Welcome, Albino. So nice to see you here, my friend. Blue Samurai Zero says, DH recently put out a comic version of the original screenplay for Alien 3 before it was turned into the Prison Planet plot. It was pretty good.
I think that's the one Dan was talking about, yeah.
All right. Also nice to see you all here. I just remind you to please subscribe to Witch Hunter, okay? And by the way, I'm just gonna announce our launching date because why not?
Why not?
We're gonna be launching this project on October 27th, which is just around the corner. It's a month and 2 days away from today.
And it's the perfect time of year for it, right before Halloween.
Exactly, yes. Right before Halloween. Like, it cannot get more Halloween than this. It just can't. I want John to talk about this. But yeah, there's all the Halloween stuff that this witch hunter is hunting. So yeah, like I think it will be a perfect fit to marketing Halloween, right? So yeah, we're gonna be launching in 27 on the Powerpuff Girls show. That's gonna be a Tuesday, and we're gonna make a big party there. So everybody invited if you wanna have some fun. So yeah, that's
Come
right.
and break it down.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think I'm gonna be streaming maybe tomorrow while I color this. Um, I think I'm gonna finish the inks today and the colors tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. I'll just let the drawing tell me how much it's gonna take from my time. Oh yeah, these things take an awful amount of time. Red, you're quiet. What are you doing?
I am actually. I'm working, but I really should probably grab a shower and head to actual work.
You mean not CG work?
Yeah, not the work I love, the work I have to do.
It's
Well,
okay, Red.
Oh, well,
We'll forgive you.
at least you shower, Red. That's
Oh,
what.
Red shower is confirmed.
There you go.
Yes, confirmed.
That's what he says. At least that's what he says, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm saying it's true. That's the way it works around here.
Right.
I mean, I trust you implicitly.
Thank you. See, Poland is with them.
I don't know, Poland. I don't know. Should you?
I mean, if he's good enough for you to keep around, Carla, I trust you.
All right.
By virtue of trusting you, it's transitive property, the gays, you know.
Oh, that's actually right.
There you go. Good people attract good people.
Everybody showers in this stream, right?
At least once a week.
At
Yeah.
least, right?
Do your weekly check-in.
Oh my god.
So have fun, you guys. Take it easy. Hail the
All right, Red.
Hail gays.
Have a good day. I was going to say something I forgot, of course, because I forgot about everything. And now I remember. Okay, with the pregnancy, I have this new superpower that sometimes is a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. It's actually like super ultra developed sense of smell.
Oh,
So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like everything amplifies. And once I told my husband, I have the smell of an eagle. I tried to say like I had a good smell, and I always said like I have the vision of an eagle, but they say I have the sense of smell of an eagle. So that I sound very stupid sometimes, but forgive me because I have an excuse. Okay, I have an excuse for that. So okay, like I still send invitations to here to my friends, to Mr. Blue. Probably you're busy. I don't want to harass you, but if you're not, you're very welcome to join. Let's just read some of the comments here. Oh yeah, probably right. Normally people works, right? Well, this is my work. Okay.
yeah. You're seeing me do mine right now.
Well, these are the quarantine perks, you know, like the good part about the quarantine. You can hang out with your friends, and yeah, you can still get stuff done depending on your work. We have Aaron Caliber in the chat. Hi, Carla and Gates and Poland. What's up, my friend?
Hail.
What's up? We have Phil. Hail, Phil. What's up? He says, "Witch Hunter looks cool." Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. What about says Hell said? Blue Samurai is bullying me, saying albino. Well, okay, my friend. Okay. It's albino for me. Albino. Are you drinking age? I forget. If so, get a can of Foster's and join Mike's stream later today, says Blue Samurai 0 to Phil. Phil is actually my age, so careful, huh? Careful. We're not that young. Come on, we're grown men and women.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Phil is like 25. He's 26, I think. He's the same age as me. Blue says pregnant women are cool scientifically. Thank you. No, I'm not sure about that in Arizona. Like, I don't think it's nothing near cool here. But anyway, new character, a woman who gets pregnant every 2.5 years, so her superpowers are active. Yeah, I mean, I would say that if you balance the superpowers and the limitations, I would say that the superpowers aren't like kind of, being beneficial, but all right. Albino says, don't be hard on yourself, Carla. Pregnancy brain is real. I didn't believe it until it happened to my wife. Right? Like, okay, a lot of people were warning me when I just started the pregnancy, like, oh, you're going to have baby brain and you're going to be like very stupid and, you know? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And you know what? you can all be witness of that now. I still try to stream, okay? I still try, okay? We have Jam in the house. What's up, Jam? Hi, folks. How is everyone? Good morning, my friends.
We're glad to have you, Carla.
Oh, mwah, huge kisses to Poland. I am curious, Poland. Did you have breakfast yet?
I did.
What did you have for breakfast?
Right before I got on.
When I'm hungry, I ask people what they eat.
I had some sliced ham.
Oh, nice.
Some, what is that stuff called? It's called like ajivar. It's like a red pepper paste.
Oh, okay. That's exotic.
Yeah.
That's
from
very
Macedonia.
all right.
And then I had a little bit of almond butter and some honey.
That's so sweet of you.
And then I got to work.
That sounds like super fit, like some almond butter with my salmon and my avocado, because
Right. No bread.
no bread, right? Or like centeno bread. I don't know in English, but that sounds like very, very fit of you. Well, yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud that you're a fit person.
Trying to be.
Yeah.
We ran out of eggs, so I normally would have 3 eggs. But alas.
The protein. That's good. I haven't had any kind of breakfast yet. I just had like my typical cup of milk with some chai to swallow all my vitamins, my prenatal vitamins, with the folic acid and all the stuff. I have like 4 jars of different vitamins I have to take every morning. And then I just got to draw and I forgot about the food, but now I'm starting to remember. I'm starting to remember about it. And I don't know, guys, like I have this constant battle all my life with being fit. I don't know why it's so hard for me. I just love fried food so much. I cannot get over it. I always fought with my obsessive love for potatoes in any form. As long as they are cooked, I don't care if they're fried, mashed, boiled. I don't care. I'm just a huge potato fan, and also like fried stuff fan. So when I came but when I came to the US, it became so much worse. Like because it's so easy to get that kind of food, and sometimes I don't feel like cooking much, or I'm too busy. Like these past 2 weeks, we were doing fulfillment. There were like more than 200 packages that we have to prepare with John. So that took a while. I have to say, especially because like we did a little bit of complicated perks. So we had a lot of not only manual work to do, but also like brain work to do.
Right.
But everything's good. So
that means I should be getting mine in the mail soon. Exciting.
What? Sorry?
That means I should be getting mine in the mail soon.
Oh yeah. I don't intend to dox you or anything, but if I knew your name, I would probably can tell you when you're gonna get it. I hope it's very, very soon. Like we shipped the last box. I think it was yesterday. Yes, I think it was yesterday. Oh my God, John! Poor John. He tells me everybody hates me in the post office. Everybody hates me because he always uses his hour of lunchtime to oh my God, to take every day he takes like a box of packages, right? So oh my God, my amnesia is so bad. Okay, so the postman, the post lady, the lady that processes all these packages, she was like asking John, what is this? Why do you come every? She was curious, right? Like, why do you come every day and spend so much money in post office? And you're sending to everywhere, right? Like to South Africa, to Singapore, to so all these places. And John was telling her, yeah, these are books, blah blah blah. We are creators. And the lady got very interested. She was actually an artist, and she got interested. And she wants to get into Comicsgate now.
Oh wow!
So John told her like, oh well, then you should come. You should come to our stream one day. We're gonna send you a link so you can join us. So it will be so fun. Like we're gonna have that postman lady, like the post office lady, and she was very very excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know, like it's so crazy. But I think it's great. I think it's great that more people are like starting to know more about this, right? Because it's so cool. It's so cool. Seriously, it's really really cool when you're a creative person, like to create stuff that you know that people is actually going to read. So it's like no other. All right, we have Oliver saying, "Bring Javier on the stream." Yeah, let's give me a second. I have to send more invitations. Like I'm gonna give me a second, okay? Please. Blue Summer Zero says, Carla, just remember, my books arrived. Yes, they're pretty. Thank you. Nice handwriting on the mailer too. Can't wait for the t-shirt. It's separate. Oh yes, definitely, my friend. We're sending it separately. Thank you so much. And yes, I get that compliment a lot. I have like the typical like primary teacher kind of handwriting. So if you pay attention to your Green Reaper package, you're probably gonna see my hand letter there. I'm so happy that you received them, and yeah, very much looking forward to what you think of it. I know that John is gonna be like, I wanna know what you guys think. I wanna know. Whew. So that's very, very cool. Your t-shirt, yes, it's here. We are sending all the rest of the t-shirts on Monday. So you're probably gonna get it very, very soon, my friend. I had to make like a second order of shirts, but yours, it's already here. So that's good. That's very good. So great looking cover, says Oliver. Thank you so much, Oliver. Thank you very much. This is like the manga cover for the project. We're going to have a manga cover, and we're also going to have a Beanie Tartamela cover in this project. So
there you go.
Yes, very, very excited about this. There's going to be a lot of surprises, a lot of fun stuff going on during this campaign. So can't wait to show everything to you guys and just to have fun together. Xio González says, hello, where is Javier? ¿Dónde está Javier? Okay. ¿Dónde está Javier? ¿Dónde está Javier? Let me send the link to Javier. Sure, give me a sec. Carla, the trailer for the Inuyasha sequel is live. Damn, really? Oh my God. I have to see that. I definitely have to see that. Let me just send an invitation to Javier. Like, if he's willing to come, of course, I'm more than glad to invite him on.
Yeah, I could use some help, Javier. I can't.
Yeah, Javier is the very, very amazing artist here of this project. He's doing the internal art, and it's gorgeous. His work is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, there. Send, my friend. Send. So, ¿dónde está Javier? ¿Dónde está? A ver, bring him. The crowd is cheering. Javier. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Break from us, I think. Huh?
What? Sorry?
I was saying they need something to break us up here. You know.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Polan, are you into Inuyasha series?
No, I haven't. I'm aware of it. Like when he said it, I was like, oh, that's one of the ones I actually recognize. But while my friends were all the ones I was talking about earlier, the big manga anime crowd, I was the one who resisted. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. No, I'm not interested.
They're not excited about it?
No, I've never really been into any of that side of things. You know, maybe I'll have my come around like I did with comic books eventually.
Right. Oh, well, as for me, I am stoked. I'm so happy about it.
I do remember the cartoon. All my friends watched it growing up.
Yeah. Like it was like my favorite anime growing up. Rumiko Takahashi, she's like she's the reason why I started doing manga in first place. So it's a very, very big deal for me. And I know that
That's awesome.
this sequel in particular of Inuyasha is being directed by Rumiko. So it's gonna preserve a lot. Like there's a lot of respect going on in this and the creation of this sequel. Like Rumiko is actually like she's very involved in it. And from what I've seen in the trailer, they managed to keep the essence of what we like, but do something different with it.
Right. It's going to be animated, right?
Sorry, what?
It's going to be an animated movie?
Yes. No, it's not a movie. It's a series. It's an anime.
Oh, it's going to be a series? Okay.
It's going to be a sequel of like the next generation, like Inuyasha's daughter and Seishomaru's also. So very exciting because I really think it has a big success in preserving what we like about Inuyasha. So that's something I wasn't expecting. Look, it's so sad to say this, but it's the truth. I am so used to seeing sequels ruining the whole thing that I kind of assumed that if they did one, it was going to suck.
No, right? I could definitely understand that.
Yes.
The last couple of years.
Yes. And if they say live action, it's not even like a suspicion. It's like it will suck. It will. I don't understand the live action hype if it exists at all. If it exists at all, like I don't understand why they want to make it look real, because it looks more boring, right? I believe that the character designs and the anime style, there are certain things that only can be fun or that fun looking and understandable in anime style and not so much in real life. The fact that it looks real, like there's this obsession with looking real, looking the most detailed, there's this obsession with making like the most details looks exactly like real life. What if I don't want to see real life? What if I want to see something different? Because I have a lot of real life going on in my real life. What if I want some escapism, like something different to see them like defy reality in a way that like defy gravity, fighting and like having these ridiculous powerful kicks and this typical anime exaggeration that exactly. I really enjoy. Johnny is saying, come on, Carla, the live action of Rurouni Kenshin was pretty good. I completely agree with you in that one in particular. But Rurouni Kenshin, it's pretty realistic in the way of like, he was an awesome samurai and stuff, but he didn't do like crazy like positions or flying in the air. Like, I don't know. I mean, of course he was an expert and he was super cool and he did like very cool stuff, but it's something that you could get away with a live action. And I saw the three movies, and they were so sad. Oh my God, it destroyed my soul. It made me really? Sad. Yes, it was very, very sad. The music was beautiful. But the thing is that, that normally Japanese movies, they can be very sad or very scary. The Japanese can master that. And at that moment, I was a teenager. It was a long time ago, but I was in a long distance relationship. And in the movie, actually, Kenshin leaves her wife for years and years, and you see her suffering the whole movie. And oh my God, it just broke my heart in pieces after pieces after pieces. Oh my God, it destroyed me. But I did enjoy the movie. That was a very well done movie. The characters were very loyal to the anime, right? But it was done in a much more like mature way. It was like more dramatic, more sad, because in the anime they try to make it like more kid friendly and more funny. I could enjoy both. styles. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it was different kind of things, but both were quality. So I agree with you, Johnny. I sorry I talked so much about that, but hopefully, yeah. Sorry.
I was going to say that, if something's adapted in a quality way, I mean, that's why they call it an adaptation, is because it's not going to be the same as the original form.
Right.
Like when you're taking a book to a movie or a movie to a comic or anything like that, if you put the care in and you make the effort to adapt it, people are going to resonate with it.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened with the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, right? The books were really beloved, and then the show was very faithful to them, and then it went off the rails. So you could see, even like in the span of one show, how something can go from resonating with people and feeling faithful to the original, like a good adaptation, and then not being a good adaptation at a certain point.
Right. I think there's a lot of, it's a matter of respect, a big matter of respect to what they're doing. Don't try to change everything just because it's a live action or to make it cooler. Like, okay, this Rurouni Kenshin movie, it was a Japanese movie, and it was very respectful, of course, of their values. It's like they know better than anyone how to make that, because it was a samurai, right? So they actually knew what they were doing. They actually understand what they are doing. And I also don't think that every movie, that every series is adaptable to movies. I don't think it works with everything, I don't know. Like I've also seen that this new Mulan movie has been a huge failure. Have you seen it, Poland?
I have not. I haven't watched any of the new Disney live action adaptations. I just think there's something missing there. There's a little bit of the magic missing, so to speak. I mean, not to sound too cheesy, but
Yes.
I mean, growing up, there was just something about the animation style and the obvious work that went into it. I don't know. There was something almost mystical about it when you're growing up, and then when you see it done in live action, it kind of cheapens it. Just like you were saying.
Yes.
Even if you have the best intentions, sometimes things just do not translate.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't work for everything. And what I was going to say, damn, forgot.
Sorry.
Forgot again. You guys are used to it though.
Yeah.
But
if you add something, it's going to make it worse. So.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really do believe that you cannot adapt everything. And if you do, it has to be something you actually understand and that you respect. Don't try to push agendas. Like what they did with Mulan was terrible. Like I think the biggest fail, like, okay, I can't choose a biggest fail because there were so many of them and they were all so terrible, so big, so cringy.
Yeah.
Because like, why do we like Mulan? Why was Mulan a success? Because she had everything, all the odds against her, and she made it. She fought. She showed she could do it. She is an example to follow of fighting, of and one thing they do with everybody, especially if they are a female character, which is giving her superpowers or something that makes her privileged in comparison to the others, right? So in this movie, she has all this like martial arts super talent, but ridiculously over everybody else. So I really believe that these people don't understand why we like Mulan. We like her because she struggled, right?
Yes.
And we identify with her because she had everything against her odds. Of course, like if she joins the army and she's a woman, of course, like physically, women are weaker than men. That's a fact, physically. It's just how it is. So she had to work so much harder than everybody else, and she did. She did because of her family. But in this movie, she is like this Mary Sue, You know, like this character that just happens to be very talented, and only if you are born with the privileges to be better than everybody else, you're gonna be a hero. So they didn't nail it in that regard. That was very, very not smart, not smart at all. And the other thing that they did, this is all I have been reading. I didn't actually watch the movie. I've seen a lot of videos about it,
Yeah,
and
same here.
I cringe very bad. Like I've seen, like there's a scene in which she appears with some phoenix wings, right?
Oof.
You know what I'm going to say?
No, I was just saying that sounds bad.
Because the problem is this. The phoenix has a meaning in Western culture, which is reborn, right? Reborn from the ashes, right?
Right.
But in China, it has a different meaning. I don't remember exactly what was it, but it's a different meaning. And they use the Western kind of meaning when she's with her wings. So that's pretty, like, come on, like do some research. If you're gonna spend all those millions in a movie, at least do some research. Don't be so disrespectful to the Chinese culture. Come on. Like you're
Yeah.
always like virtue signaling about respecting culture. Well, actually do it. Come on. Like I don't think it's a matter of not having money. It's just being lazy. I don't know, or just being plain disrespectful there. Because I don't know. There were 4 writers in that movie. Not any of them were Chinese. Like I'm not saying they have to be Chinese to write Mulan, but if you're not Chinese, at least have somebody, some expert about it to tell you about it. Like at least show some kind of interest, you know?
Yeah, I think they were working with a Chinese government studio over there, and that was part of the outrage as well. And maybe that was also part of the reason that they didn't want her to struggle as much as she did in the original iteration, is because the more, like, I guess you could almost say nationalistic Chinese point of view is like, oh, she's like a demigod sort of thing,
Right.
and this is something. It's almost like quasi propaganda at that point. So, and that's part of the problem, is that a lot of art has been compromised in that way nowadays, is that it has gone from being art to propaganda, where it has some type of intention behind it like that.
Exactly. They're pushing their agendas, pushing. But you know what? Like, I don't know about this, but I also read somewhere that the Chinese government wasn't very happy because it wasn't like pro-Chinese government enough. I don't know. I read that. I don't know how
They would
true
have-
it is.
Yeah, it's like they weren't waving the flag. What's going on?
Yes. But they say it's not enough. They needed to be even more explicit, like so. And then there was all this problem that they were actually like recording the movie. They were filming the movie in concentration camps. I don't know. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, they were filming it in the same province where a lot of at least in the same province as the human rights violations are occurring, which
Right.
I find particularly rich, considering that Disney doesn't want to film in Georgia because of a pro-life law that's enacted there.
That's very ridiculous. Well, Disney, who knows how much it lasts? I know they are losing a lot of money with this quarantine thing. I've been reading that they will probably sell it to China. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not, but I've been reading some stuff about it. I don't know. What do you think? Will they sell it or?
It's gotten pretty ugly for them,
Yeah.
because a company like that spends tons on their expenditures to try and get massive returns. But the thing is when your returns don't come through, then you've invested all this money and now you're just out that money. So I could see, and Disney's spent a lot of money over the last 10 years acquiring studios, 20th Century Fox, Marvel, all these things. And they're trying to get return now on these investments. And when they're starting to hit their stride with a lot of this stuff, I know it's difficult for people to imagine because the movies have been so successful, but you have to think about the sheer amount of money they've also put out. They just launched Disney Plus. You know, they have put a lot of money into different services and products.
Right.
So they are definitely going to take a hit. And then from the PR perspective, they haven't exactly been doing well either on the Star Wars front. And now you got this China controversy, and that definitely doesn't help them and make their stockholders feel comfortable. So I don't know if they would sell. They may sell partially to try and regain some of their loss, try and sell some stock, sell some shares. But yeah, it's hard to predict.
I'm a huge like Disney fan. I love Frozen with a passion. I love all this stuff, but I just can't get the obsession with redoing movies. Why have they become completely unable to create new stuff? What's wrong, Disney? Why do you have all this money and you can't do new stuff? For example, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Mulan, but you know this song "Reflection" by Christina Aguilera. I love it. It's a beautiful song. But they did the same thing with the same singer with the same song. What the hell? What the hell? You have all the money in the world to write a new Reflection, something new. Like if you think about the 90s, you have all these movies like The Lion King, the actual Mulan. I don't know, so many movies that every Tarzan, all these movies were like, I don't know, like beautiful concept, beautiful art, and the music. Oh my God, the music.
Yes.
What happened to that?
It's just like what we were talking about with these books, right? You had a melding of all these things coming together and intersecting to make these really memorable pieces of art. At the end of the day, they're art.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's literal art in there, right? As what people would conventionally think with the actual animation and drawing. But like you're saying, they bringing together the music, the drawing, the writing, the singing, if you want to include that, if you want to separate that from the actual instrumental stuff,
Mhm.
and the presentation itself, and then deciding what to do, what to bring all those assets together on, like conceptually, like you were saying as well. Like, what are we going to do? And everything that they did through that period of time, I mean, I can tell you, growing up, and you know, we're around the same age. Growing up, it was universal. Everyone liked that stuff. Guys, gals, you know, everyone was on board. It's like, yes, Lion King, yes, Aladdin, great.
Yes.
You know, maybe some stuff like Little Mermaid, you know, a little too much for me, but you know, all the other things I really enjoyed. So yeah,
Right.
they've kind of lost some of that Disney magic, so to speak.
No, it's not that they kind of lost a little bit. No, they are so mediocre now. They are so mediocre. I'm so upset about that because like I don't understand why it went downhill that bad. Because how do you go from being like the best, one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, to being so mediocre, just like regurgitating, I don't know how to say the word, like things from the past once again, and now in live action, and now we're gonna do a sequel, and we're gonna completely ruin for you, and we're gonna do a very shitty spin-off of this movie. Like, do something new, please, something new that I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm just so disappointed. Like, they have shown that they have the ability to produce quality stuff, and they are choosing not to do it. You know, they are choosing not to do it. They are one of the few companies that have like the actual budget to do quality stuff, but they have sold their souls, you know. So I'm very upset. I'm just gonna read the comments here because I'm upset. I need to chill. Johnny says, even the JoJo's live action was decent. It caught me off guard. I didn't see that one, my friend. I didn't see that one. Jam says, people want to see a hero overcome obstacles to work hard and strive to achieve something. Of course, the hero's journey is what makes it interesting, because like we want to relate to this character, and we don't want to relate to this character because of its race, because of its color, because of superficial stupid stuff. No, we want to identify with the spirit of fight, with, you know, the feeling of hope, you know, like trying to be better, to have a better life, to improve stuff. That's what we want to see, what we want to relate to. You can relate to a dinosaur if the character is well written. Okay, so I think it's completely bullshit that, oh, let's put a women character. Okay, yeah, cool, but it's not all about gender and seeing myself exactly how I look represented in a movie. Like, I don't need that. I don't need to see myself in the movie because like you will never be able to represent everybody in the movies. You're always going to leave somebody out, and you're forcing stuff. And when you force stuff, it's never a good result. Johnny says, while attempting to please everyone, then please nobody. Exactly what I'm trying to say. Yes. Disney has always relied on the theme parks to cover any losses that may incur in their other divisions. The pandemic has taken that away from them. Yeah, the pandemic and their stupid wokeness. Come on. Like, I don't think people is paying attention anymore to Disney. They have lost all the prestige they used to have. Like, they're just pulling agendas. And the SJWs, they like to preach and to tell you do this, do that, but they don't buy. They don't buy, my friend. They just want to tell people what to do. Carl, I would love to stream with you one day about Disney movies. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Let's do it. 100%. Blue Samurai Zero says, Little Mermaid was the last Disney thing I enjoyed. Even that is just because my sisters played it repeatedly. I was brainwashed. Then I saw Aladdin in the theater. All right. Aside from William's stand-up improv in the film, I wasn't impressed. The too big for her britches girl rebels against daddy was redundant.
The visuals in that film, though, some of the scenes in that film, Aladdin, I mean, they're just really memorable. Like they're riding the carpet, through the city at night. Yeah, that stuff sticks with you.
What movie is he talking about in the last comment?
Aladdin.
11.
Aladdin.
Oh, Aladdin. Sorry.
Aladdin.
Yeah,
you want to say it like an Arabic person?
Right. Well, I used to have an obsession with Aristocats when I was like
such a great film.
Yes, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and my mother knows by heart the dialogues of the movie. It was torture for my mother because like that was the only movie I wanted. I was raised in a farm, right? So we didn't get cable TV. We didn't get any kind of signal of life. So I had to pretty much watch recorded stuff. And of course, like when I was 5, what year was it? When I was 5, it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 1999. It was 1999, and we had a VHS, right? That my mother used to record stuff for us there, some Disney movies and stuff. And sometimes we went to the Blockbuster, and actually rented the movie. And every time we went to the Blockbuster, I always wanted to rent Aristocats. And there was no other option that you could negotiate with me. I remember my mother told me, okay, we're taking the Aristocats, but also let's take Aladdin. And also let's take this other one. And the only way I could agree with her was if she took the Aristocats first. So she knows by heart the dialogues to this very day. So I think the trauma is real.
One of the ones that really that wore my mom out was Lady and the Tramp. When I was really little, I loved that film.
That's a good one. My first obsession, though, I have like a very obsessive personality. That's just for the record. But there were 2 movies that obsessed me. The first one was Alice in Wonderland, and the second one was The Aristocats. But this Alice movie, I was like 3 years old, and my mother remembers that if she didn't call me Alice, I wasn't like listening to her. She had to call me Alice. It was that bad.
There are conditions.
Yes. I was a very good toddler. I wasn't like no, but I think that I just had some trouble like separating reality from fantasy. I think that was it. Now I do comics, so
Now you put all your fantasy on the page,
there you go.
channeling it.
I have very weird anecdotes.
No, these sound pretty similar to some that I had. You know, I always was throwing myself into some type of world. It's like,
Okay.
you know, one day I'm like a Carthaginian soldier, you know, battling stuff out.
Well,
And
there's something about it, like I don't know, it's fun. Why not? Right?
exactly. Johnny Rando says, my 6-year-old cousin is obsessed with the Rescuers Down Under. Thank you, Comic-Con bootleg booths.
Oh yeah, that happens. Oliver says we need more color representation in entertainment. I don't think that's a good idea, my friend. Disney made a huge mistake by not rehiring Gilbert Gottfried as Lago for the live-action Aladdin. Mhm. I don't know much about that. The villains made the films more interesting. Yes. One of the most overlooked Disney animated movies is The Princess and the Frog. The music in the movie is amazing. I like that one. It was a very, very romantic movie. You're a romantic fella, Jam creates. Johnny says, my 6-year-old cousin is obsessed with the red. Oh, yeah. We just read that one. When I was a kid, I used to listen to the Jungle Book soundtrack on a record. Yes, I'm old. Over and over. What do you think it was your favorite soundtrack from these movies, Poland?
You know, I don't know if I thought about it as much as now as an
Mm.
adult, like retrospectively. It's funny. There's this, for people who have watched Red Leather Media reviews, there's this phrase that they like to use in them. It's like, you didn't know this, but your brain did. Like, so there are some things that you pick up on where you recognize quality, but you can't immediately articulate what it is that you're appreciating or enjoying in that moment.
Mhm.
So I think for me, with the Disney films growing up, I just kind of enjoyed them. I didn't think about them. I haven't rewatched a lot of them in some time now. I mean, I'm still just playing off of memories from watching them on VHS growing up. But Aristocrats definitely, I mean, not to play to your favorites here, but that one sticks out to me as one that I really enjoy, especially the piano parts and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just,
I love that one.
it's a very musical film, so I really enjoy that one.
Yes.
Let's see, outside of that, I'm trying to think what would be the next.
I don't know.
Like
Like I think that one of very, very good soundtracks is Tarzan. I don't know how you say it in English, but the Phil Collins soundtrack. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think that was great. I did like that one.
The Jungle Book, actually, now that JM mentions it, the Jungle Book soundtrack, I remember listening to that a lot growing up. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that one.
I don't remember that one. I think I watched it, yes, but I didn't pay much attention to it. I don't know why. But yeah, I know some of the songs. Yeah, they are popular, yes. What else? Tarzan, yes. There you go.
Oh yeah, there's so many.
This is what what I was trying to say. I used to have a bunch of the all read along books too. I don't know how it was here in the US, but well, probably, of course, you had it, right? Like these little toys that came in McDonald's in the Happy Meal that were like from the movies. I don't know if you guys collected them.
Had more than a few of those.
Yeah, I remember like from the Tarzan movie, there was like this it was like a circle that you connected the toys, and things happened with the toys, like they moved a branch or something. I don't know, like and then there was like this Winnie the Pooh little plushies that you like stick their hands. Oh, I'm nostalgic. I'm feeling nostalgic.
I've been very nostalgic the last couple of years, I'll say.
Yeah.
And nostalgic for some things I didn't even grow up with, like comic books.
Right? Yeah, sometimes you just like crave the like in other decades, you know, like the feeling that they give you, like the stuff that was produced, the music, you know. Yeah, so sometimes it happens that you are nostalgic from stuff that you didn't like live, but I think it's we are just so saturated with nowadays bull crap, sorry, but we need something different, and it's very refreshing to see different music from different eras and
Right.
and entertainment. It was just so good, so good. I don't know, I'm in love with the 90s, but everybody has
Carla,
their favorite. Yes.
this thing that you're talking about here is actually a very real phenomenon. I think there'll actually be a word for it eventually, but I don't know if you've paid attention to kind of some indie type music on YouTube that's come out, but there's kind of a genre called now synthwave or retrowave.
Mhm.
And so you have these bands or groups, if you prefer, who are contemporary groups, but when you listen to them, they sound like an 80s group.
Oh yeah.
And they're taking all the most 80s type sounds and instruments and making music. So when you listen to it, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you're transporting yourself back, or the people actually producing it themselves are trying to recreate something as well. And one of the comments you most often see on these videos on YouTube is, I'm nostalgic for a time I never lived in, you know?
Yes.
And yeah, it's like people are like, yes, the 80s, you know, 80s is such a good time. And a lot of these people were probably born in 2000 who are saying this.
Right, but like, come on, it's impossible not to enjoy music made with actual instruments and with actual singers
Yep.
and like actual music. Come on, like it's not like some sound engineer result of working in the computer, you know, like it's not like a put together kind of, okay, the formula, what works, what do people like, okay, boom boom boom,
Yeah.
bam, new song, new hit, play
Exactly.
it 100 times in the radio, you know. So it's impossible not to feel when you like actually like enjoy music, like, it's impossible not to see the difference and to enjoy it and say, hey, what is this? Why is this so good? I don't understand why this is so good, but I just love it, you know. So, well, but they always say this, right? Like it's always a cycle. When you go too much over one side of the spectrum, then you end up returning, you know. It's a cycle. People will get very fed up of pre-made stuff, of all this like very superficial stuff. So people, of course, naturally, they're gonna crave more. I don't know what's the word, if like organic or like more human kind of content. Come on, like something more with more content. So
Exactly.
So yeah. I think that.
Yeah, and it's not just that they can go back and appreciate the actual music, you know, from the 80s, like Aerosmith and ZZ Top and, you know, Rush and all these guys, but they're actually creating new stuff to channel the spirit of that time period as well, or what they perceive it to be through movies and music.
Right.
And they're recreating it, you know. I mean, look at Stranger Things, for instance. I mean, that was basically a homage to the 80s in a lot of ways, that whole show. So yeah, it's not only going back and appreciating the things that came before and reliving it and experiencing it, but also they're adding things to it too, which is kind of an interesting turn. So
I think that's good. As long as they are creating new stuff, like I think that's good. I'm not against it. Let me just read some of the comments. I see there's a lot of comments here. Hell yeah, Poland knows. Of course he does. He's an expert. Synthwave has been out for a while. Retrowave. I'm
I
currently
said both.
listening to Gatekeeper Giza. Sorry?
I was telling Baz, it's like I said both. Synthwave, retrowave, synthwave, retro.
There you go. The Drive movie soundtrack is synthwave. John Carpenter, etc. Hell yeah, John creates all the dope John Huston narration as well. I don't know what you guys are talking about there. Disney films never get old for me. After the mid 90s, though, the magic was lost for me. I can agree with you, Albino. Yes, I do. It's agnostalgia. Is that the term for that? I don't know. I don't know if that's the term for it. But yeah, I hope that, well, maybe what we can do in Comicsgate is like, I don't know, like they always talk about the nostalgia factor and that stuff, but a lot of people, for example, like Poland, they were never into comics, you know? Or like me, I was never into comics, but they can make you start liking it. They can make you like give it a chance because you see, okay, this is stuff like made with like, how do you say, like it's not homemade, like made with content, actual content, you know, like
Substance.
with substance. There you go. That was the word.
Love.
Thank you very much. Yes, with substance. And we are craving for substance so much. I think that without getting too conspiracy theorist here, but I think that when you're exposed to very not creative stuff, your brain stops being creative. Like you start thinking in a like automatic a pilot, you know. Everything is pre-made. You don't have to think about anything. You just have to produce. Don't creativity is not good. It's not good to control the masses. So I think they're like lowering this on purpose, like this how to say, like this wave of this tendency to do creative stuff and actual cool stuff, you know, like to make you more mediocre, right?
It's a form of conditioning. Right?
Yes, to make
so
you.
Instead of having things to aspire to and, you know, live outside of your own experience, now things are just kind of manufactured, right? I think that's what you're getting at.
Yes.
They're just kind of churned out like a factory.
Yes, exactly. And it's very hard to keep being creative when you're exposed to such a mechanical and boring influence, you know, because when you're an artist, it's like a cycle of energy. You get inspired, right? That's when the artistic process starts. You get inspired first, you process, you create, you experiment, and then you end up with a new product, something new, right? But what happens when you're not exposed to anything that inspires you anymore? Everything is so plain, everything is so predictable, so easy to consume, you know. Doesn't make you think. It's everything's pretty much the same. So that ruins a lot, like the creativity of the people. And
yeah,
people dump.
I think that's absolutely. I mean, I think there is definitely something to that. You know, as a Catholic myself, when I have visited churches of other denominations in the past, I'm like, where's all the aesthetic? Where's all the beauty? Where's the stuff to inspire you here? You know, and you know, I know that's a huge theological point of contention, but just from an artistic standpoint, you know, one thing I've always really admired is that the church really has cared about aesthetic, has really cared about things that want you to look up, you know, look up from beyond yourself and really inspire your spirit or your soul, so to speak. some things that really stir you on the inside.
Right.
And it's something that nowadays where it's, you can just put a red streak across a page and people are like, oh, that's brilliant. Well done. There's nothing that speaks to you there. It's like, oh, it's a red line. I mean, what is that? I mean, you have to basically write a paper on justifying why that's actually something meaningful.
Yeah, everything is so political and so like out of there. There's no point. There's no point anymore. Everything's lazy, political, pre-made, just boring, very upsetting, very very upsetting. I get upset with this.
Yeah, and a lot of modern art's barely art, in my opinion. I mean, it barely passes as art. People are just they're very haughty-taughty about it, right? It's like, oh yes, this is so sophisticated. I put 3 colors on the page, and this represents my internal feelings on the world. I'm like, no, that's just you just did some watercoloring on the page, and then you sold it for $500,000, which props to you.
I would say that's money laundering.
Yeah.
That's not art. That's money laundering. Come on. Like, don't be like that. Don't be like that, people. Like, I see also like all these paintings that they put like they tie a paint bucket to the roof and they make it like circles and they put the it looks great. It's pretty. But that's not art. Like, you're not doing anything. It's like, okay, I'm gonna grab sorry, I don't want to be graphic, but okay, like I want to grab like a rotten potato from my kitchen and say, okay, this represents like, oh, I'm gonna buy. Like, what the hell? Come on. I think that these like super expensive art galleries and stuff is just money laundering. I don't think it's too extreme, it's too extreme. I don't think there's an actual explanation for that. Some artists do that. I don't know. I don't want to be judgy, but then you have like these artists that they can actually do like very, very badass stuff. They have all the technique in the world and they choose to do the red line in the middle of the canvas. Come on, people. What's wrong?
You would go back, Carla, and you look at like Baroque paintings or Renaissance paintings, and it's just what they were able to accomplish with what they had at the time. Limited reference. You have to have someone pose up for you. I mean, it's astounding. I mean, it almost looks photographic. And now we have people that try and go back and restore some of those pieces of art, and they ruin them. They can't replicate it.
Yes. Oh my God. Those restorers. Oh my God. They should be in jail. How dare they do that? Damn. I think it's a very important point to mention that in the Baroque art, yes, it's very photographic, but they didn't have cameras. So that was kind of their only way to get portraits of the king, like it was like their very expensive and time-consuming camera at that time, right? But nowadays we have like the smartphones. We can take super high-quality pictures with just like a phone and beep, and anybody can do it. So now, like, I don't know if there's any point in being like hyper realistic with your work. So people just want something different and refreshing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. Yes, tell me.
I think there's still something to be said about someone, putting their hand to the page or to the screen and crafting something like that, and doing it, incorporating themselves a little bit into an image of you, so to speak, and seeing that created, as opposed to you snapping like 100 pictures on your phone. I don't know about you, Carla, but I take a lot of pictures for posterity reasons. Like, I want to remember things, but very rarely do I go back and actually revisit all the images. And I'm like, because I think it's just so easy for us. We just take pictures, and it's just it's a very almost.
Sometimes like to not look for it, you just take another one.
Right. Yeah, when I was growing up, I mean, not even to go all the way back to Baroque paintings, but even when I was growing up, and my dad had a 35 millimeter Canon, and then we'd have the stuff printed out, and we'd have the negatives of it and the film. There was something to having that physical like photo album and flipping through and everything. Like I remember a lot of our family photo albums growing up, and I don't know. I think as it is more convenient, I don't want to cast it completely in a negative light, but as things become more convenient and accessible, it also just by virtue, I think, cheapens it in some way because it's so easy. It just comes so easy. Snap, delete, snap, whatever.
Yes.
So going from the spectrum of someone taking days, maybe even weeks to do a painting, to the 35 millimeter printouts and all that stuff now to digital, you can see how the value of things has maybe gone down, but it's become more accessible. So that's the flip side of it. But
yeah, it's like outdated.
Yeah, I think that's part of but I think there's a little bit of a phenomenon of people going back to physical media in a lot of ways. I know I have. Comic books started me down this path, and now I've been collecting Blu-rays and DVDs again because I want like physical, tangible things. And especially if the way streaming services are working now, they'll take something down, they'll edit it, maybe they'll change it forever, maybe they won't even make it available. I think it's so important to have a physical copy of something. And some of the best gifts, at least that my friends have told me that they've received from me, have been pieces of art I've had done for them, or something because they know it's unique, they know it's special, and it's physically present. Like they can go hang it up.
Right, and I think we can translate that to comics too,
Right.
Because like Marvel and DC are like trying to figure out if it's better to go full digital with their comics, or if people would actually collect the real deal, like the actual books, and if people would actually go to comic stores, which a lot of them have just been bankrupt. So what do you think? Do you think people still appreciate like having the book in their hands? Or
I know for me, and I'm completely new to this, keep in mind, for me, there's no substitute. Zero at this point.
Yeah.
I want to have it. Like I said earlier, I look at screens enough during the day.
Yes.
I want to have it in my hands. I want to be able to smell it. I know it's something Zach talks about. It may sound a little quirky or funny, but that's true. You get to smell the ink in the paper.
Right.
You can feel the quality of the page, how thick it is.
Yes.
You get to have it here and always appreciate and have access to it. There's digital collections of stuff that I could potentially lose at some point. There's nothing I could do about it. But someone would have to come in here and physically remove this book from the premises for me to lose it, right? So there is something, like I said, I've been having a little bit, and I've seen this with other people too, but the last couple of years I've been trying to collect more physical media. That's been a huge, and Comicsgate kind of started me there. And it's kind of carried over into other things now where I'm going and getting used disc and trying to watch all my movies on a player and these sorts of things. Because I know that it's the original cut. Nothing's been changed,
Right. And nobody can take it from you because move to streaming services. It's so easy to, and then they say, okay, this movie, we don't want to put it anymore, and you can watch it anymore. You don't own anything. You pay, but you don't own anything. So that's not cool.
Yeah. So I wish I still had all my old game boxes. All my games are digital now, which that's just the way that's gone. But I'm gonna try and hold on to my physical films as long as I can in disc form.
Right.
I think it's really important.
Oh yeah, so you can actually own your stuff and go back to it whenever you want. Nobody, there's no middleman whatsoever. You do exactly what you want to do with it. That's something that they are trying to stop doing. To stop we don't have CDs anymore, you know. We don't have videotapes. Like, yeah, it saves a lot of space. That's true. But what do you actually own? Like,
yeah. And what are you going to use in that space anyways? Like, what are you going to replace? I know people said, well, I like to have a very minimalist house. I'm like, so you just like to have very echoey rooms? I mean, what's going on here? You know?
Everybody says the same, but they don't mean it.
No, they don't. I mean, we live to like collect things, and I think everyone has a little bit of that sense of collecting and posterity.
Of
Maybe
course,
some a little bit more than others.
because it's your stuff and it's your room and you're surrounded by the things you like. You
Right.
know? So yeah, I think it's very important. Oh my god, this is taking like forever. I think I'm gonna just take a break and go to eat something because I am starving here. So
Yetsa's here.
oh Yetsa.
Oh, Yetsa.
Yetsa is saying some nice points here. Let me just go back to.
Abel Salazar, how are you, sir?
We have Abel. Hiyo, what's up, Abel? What's up, my good friend? Yetsa Abel says hello, everyone. Blue says that was something fun about going from evangelical to Lutheran. Instead of Pop Deco, there was stained glass again.
Yes.
A banana tapped to a wall sold for tons of money at auction. Art has become a joke. That's money laundering, my friend. Like, there's nobody who will convince me otherwise. Yetsa, hello everyone. Hello Yetsa, what's up, my beautiful friend? I love Yetsa. Mwah.
Look at that lovely avatar.
There you go. Yeah, this is very, very, very lovely. Bas is saying, I hope those characters you're drawing are non-binary, bigot. Okay. I don't know if they identify as attack helicopters or something like that, but we should have to ask them. All right. So Johnny says, I'm going to latch on to that very optimistic theory. Thanks. All right. Abel, hello. Jetsabel says that piece is looking fly. Carla, thank you so much. Gorgeous.
That's looking terrific.
Gorgeousness. Thank you so much. I love you all. Mwah. Huge kiss. Hi, Jetsabel. These two have gone from talking about hentai to classic Disney films to Baroque paintings. It's been enlightening. We're people of culture, Poland. What can we say?
I mean, we can cover all the bases. I mean, whatever you want to throw at us, we got it.
Of course, like it's so fun, so enjoyable to talk to Poland. I'm so happy. Like, I'm gonna send you links more often. Okay, I promise. I'm gonna stream more because this is the thing.
I'd be honored to join you more.
Yes, please. Because as you all know, guys, like I have been having this problem with YouTube. They take down everything I do, and with everything I mean everything. Like
just too spicy.
No, but seriously, like I uploaded the trailer for Witch Hunter, and they took that down. They take everything down, and they never give me a reason why. Okay, this all started in Beanie's birthday party, right? There was like a copyright. There was an actual reason in that one. Okay, so I didn't appeal for it because like when there's an actual reason, yeah, sure, I respect it. Okay, whatever. There was a video that my husband showed that had copyright, so yeah, sure, okay, whatever. I won't take offense for that. But then every single video after that one, it was like a bot, I don't know, or they targeted the channel and everything was taken down. I just appeal like, it's just me hanging out with friends. Why are you taking that out, taking that down? And they reinstalled it soon after that. So I don't know what's going to happen with this one. They're probably going to take it down, but I know there's a limited amount of times that you can appeal. I'm just waiting for YouTube to tell me, hey, you have appealed too many times. Now we're just going to take down your channel or something like that. I don't know where this comes from. They are not giving me any kind of reason for taking down this. They just say that it violates the regulations. That's all they say. They don't say what exactly, which for me means there's not a reason, and especially because they are putting it back up. And they did that for 6 times in a row. So with the last Powerpuff Girls show that they also took down, of course, I was a little bit upset because it was like the launching, to call it a way, of Witch Hunter. And I want everybody to see it because, of course, like, I want everybody to know what we're working now, and if they are interested, to subscribe to the mailing list. So I really wanted that video to stay there because I normally I have a decent amount of people that rewatch it later on the next day, but they are taking a whole day to put it back, to restore it, and these people, they're just like, okay, now it's too old, I don't want to watch it. So what the hell, right? So this last time I put to YouTube, why are you doing this to me? This makes no sense, and you are doing this with every single video. And YouTube did something different this time. They didn't send me an email notifying me that the video was re-uploaded, but they still re-uploaded it. So I don't know if that was like an actual human and not a machine doing this. I don't know if they actually read what I said, or I don't know. But I was surprised that they reacted differently. I don't know what's gonna happen with this one. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep streaming. Like we're gonna be starting our campaign very soon, and I have to stream, right? So let's see what happens with the channel. I know that as closer as we get to the elections, the more they're gonna be like censoring, banning, taking down accounts. In Twitter happens too. Like, I don't know, Poland, about you, but a lot of people have been saying like, hey, I have like 20 less followers in Twitter. What happened? And they're actually like banning accounts, for
I've
saying,
seen it.
Yes, for having like incorrect thoughts about stuff, for not agreeing with the majority or whatever, So there's a lot of censorship going on. I just hope that somebody does something about it. It's just too much. It's very bad. It's very bad. That's not healthy for anybody. This is gonna be like we're gonna end up like in these countries that you have to pray to the president's picture in your house, like your mandatory president's picture in the house.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, but this is the way this is heading. Like you can't disagree. You have to bend the knee. So let's see. They have the entertainment. They have the social media. They have everything. So we're surrounded. Let's see what happens. I don't know. It's everything. I'm dying. Everything's so tense because it's almost election. Almost the election. So I don't know. To change a little bit the subject, Oliver says, talk more about hentai, please. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, I used to draw hentai in the past. I would very gladly do a CG hentai book, but I don't know if I have the audience for that. I don't know if people would actually buy it, So there's that. Because when you produce a book, you take... You guys, you've seen I've been 2 hours and 18 minutes, and I haven't done much to this cover. I still have like hours and hours and hours to go, and I don't want to torture Poland.
Not torturing me by any means, Carla.
Well, you're very, very welcome to when I finish this cover, so we can keep talking about all this fun stuff. It's definitely been such a fun time. Like, it's very enjoyable to talk to you, my friend. Jetsa says Poland is the best, which I completely agree. So thank you so much for coming today to my show, to keeping me company, because inking this alone is very, very boring. Also, thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful chat that has been here this whole stream. Also talking with us. So yeah, I'm just gonna say before I wrap up that please check out Witch Hunter. We have the mailing list open right now. If you sign up to the mailing list, you're gonna get a free trading card, okay? And we're gonna be launching the 27th of October in the Powerpuff Girls show. We're gonna make a party, so everybody's invited. That's gonna be chaos. So
party stream.
What?
I said party stream.
Yes, party stream. Exactly. So yeah, thank you everybody so much, and let's watch the trailer one last time. If I don't boomer it, because you know what I did, Poland? Like when I was
Carla.
when I was when I was showing the trailer for the first time when in the mailing list, I actually played it without sound 3 times in a row. So if that's not a fail, tell me what's a fail.
That's that may be up there. I don't know. I think Michael may have had you beat on one show a few weeks ago, but
Oh, okay. How many times did he play without sound?
I think you guys may be tied at 3. So.
Oh, right. All right. So thank you, everybody. Love you all. Thank you for being here. And